My dear students, I welcome all of you for today's session on design and analysis of algorithms. In previous session, we had a discussion about two important maximization problems. One is an abstract problem and the other one is a job sequencing with deadlines. In this session, let me have a look at minimization problem. Okay, let me have a look at one of the minimization problem. The problem we are going to discuss in this session is minimum spanning tree. Okay, so all of you know what actually tree is, right? So what actually tree? It's a connected acyclic graph. Clear? So means all the vertices should be reachable from all other vertices in a graph. Got it? And there should not be cycle in a graph. Such a graph we call as a tree. Got it? So in simple we call tree is a connected acyclic graph. Got it? So in this now let me have a look at agenda of this session. So at first, okay, I will tell you what actually is spanning tree. Clear? So you know what is tree, right? It's a connected acyclic graph. So now we'll learn what actually spanning tree. So then once you come to know what actually spanning tree, then we will see what actually minimum spanning. Clear? Got it? So then see once you come to know what actually minimum spanning tree, now you are given a problem to solve it. Got it? So assume that you are not aware of greedy strategy. Clear? So then what you will do, you apply brute force approach. Got it? Here exhaustive search approach is nothing but a brute force strategy. Okay, a brute force approach to identify to solve minimum spanning tree problem. Got it? So when we have seen, right, when we applied brute force strategy for knapsack problem and job sequencing with deadlines, we have seen it's an inefficient one with respect to time. Is it? So similarly, if I apply exhaustive search, that is brute force approach to minimum spanning tree problem, okay, it consumes more time. Means it's an inefficient with respect to time. Got it? So let me have a look at exhaustive search approach for minimum spanning tree problem, and let me identify what is the limitation of exhaustive search approach. Then to overcome drawback of exhaustive search approach, let me see how greedy strategy can be applied. Okay, let me take an advantage of greedy strategy to overcome drawback of exhaustive search approach. Got it? So in greedy strategy, okay, means based on the logic, based on the idea, okay, there are two methods of greedy. There are two methods, okay, that makes use of greedy strategy in solving minimum spanning tree problem. Those two methods are Prim's algorithm and Kruskal's algorithm. Okay. In this session, I'm going to discuss you about the Prim's algorithm. Okay, we'll have a discussion about Prim's algorithm to solve minimum spanning tree problem. Now, assume that you got the concept of, you got the idea, logic behind Prim's algorithm and solving the minimum spanning tree problem. So now, what you need? You need to make your machine to understand, right? So you want your machine to solve minimum spanning tree problem. Means you need to write a code. So before coding, we need to design an algorithm. Okay, so now once you are familiar with the concepts, the logic, the idea behind Prim's algorithm, then let me design an algorithm. Okay, so that is the next step. So once I have designed an algorithm, okay, I have designed a Prim's algorithm. Now let me see how efficient is designed Prim's algorithm. One, I compare with exhaustive search. Okay, so this is about agenda of today's session. Clear? So now let me be introduced to spanning. So see, before I tell you what actually spanning tree, just look at the four figures. Okay, look, just have a look at the four graphs, what you are seeing on a slide. Okay, and the first graph, in all these four graphs, what you can see, there are four vertices, right? A, B, C, D. And all these four graphs are weighted graphs. Is it? All these four graphs are weighted graphs. Means there's a weight for each edge. Say, for example, the weight of edge AB is 1. Weight of edge AD is 2. Is it clear? So now, what is all these four graphs? Now, whether all these four graphs are tree. Got it? So one thing I can say, all trees are graphs because definition of what it is connected acyclic graph. Got it? So I mean connected means if you consider any vertex, okay, from that vertex you should be able to travel all other vertices. Okay, so that we call connected graph. Got it? So in this case, in all these four graphs, what we can see from if I can traverse from A to all other vertices B, C, D. Similarly, from vertex B, I can traverse to all other vertices A, C, D. Similarly, from vertex C, okay, I can traverse to A, B, D. Similarly, from vertex D, I can traverse to A, B, C. Means all vertices are reachable from all other vertices. I repeat, in all these four graphs, all vertices are reachable from all other vertices. So it's a connected graph. Clear? But definition of tree, connected, and one more property, acyclic. Acyclic means there should not be cycle. Okay. But when you look at first graph, there is a cycle A, C, D, A. Is it? Or you can say D, A, C, D or C, D, A, C. Got it? So there exists a cycle in first graph. So the first graph is not acyclic. The first graph is cyclic. Got it? So first graph, I can't call it as a tree. Clear? Got it? The first graph, I can't call it as a tree because there exists a cycle. Whereas the other three graphs, okay, I can call them as a tree because in the other three graphs, okay, cycle doesn't exist. Since cycle doesn't exist, this three graphs are acyclic. Got it? So this three graphs, what we can call it as a tree. So clear with the definition of tree, right? So what is tree? Connected acyclic graph. I repeat, what is tree? Connected acyclic graph. So I repeat once again, tree is nothing but connected acyclic graph. Okay. So now let me see what is minimum spanning tree. Okay. So minimum spanning tree here. See, in general, let me call so first we'll discuss what is spanning tree. Okay. So spanning tree means it's a subgraph. Got it? I tell you, it's a subgraph for a given graph. See, listen here. Look at the four graphs. Okay, the first graph, which is acyclic, sorry, which is not acyclic. Got it? See, let me tell you what actually spanning tree. Okay, so first, look at the four graphs on the slide. The first graph, which has cycle A, C, D, A. It's a given graph. Listen cautiously. The first graph, which has cycle A, C, D, A. It's a given graph. Listen, and this given graph is connected, right? I repeat, the first graph which contains cycle A, C, D, A is a given graph, as in it's a given graph. And we know it's a connected because all vertices are reachable from all other vertices. So, see here, you will be given a graph and that graph should be connected. Okay, I repeat, the given graph should be connected. Okay, then if a given graph is connected, then we can obtain a spanning tree for that graph. I repeat, if a given graph, like the first graph, is connected, then we can obtain spanning tree for the given connected graph. Okay, so then what is spanning tree? So spanning tree is nothing but subgraph. Listen carefully. Spanning tree is nothing but a subgraph of a given connected graph, and this subgraph should contain all vertices of given connected graph. Understood? See, what is spanning tree? Spanning tree of a given connected graph, like first graph, is nothing but a subgraph of a given connected graph. Got it? Which contain all vertices of given connected graphs. And this subgraph should be connected acyclic. Subgraph should be connected acyclic. Got it? See, I think you got it. If you just listen once again. See here, the first graph is a given connected graph, right? As in first graph is a given connected graph. Then the next three graphs, what you have seen, they are nothing but a subgraph of this graph, right? Suggesting in the second graph, AB is an edge from the given graph. AD is also an edge from the given graph. CD is also an edge from the given graph, right? Similarly, the last two, okay, graphs, yeah, they are nothing but a subgraph of graph 1. Means, just listen cautiously, then second, third, and fourth subgraphs, second, third, fourth graphs, what you are seeing on the slide, I repeat, second, third, and fourth graph, what you are seeing on the slide, okay, they are nothing but subgraphs of first graph. Clear? They are nothing but subgraphs of first graph. Clear? And in this subgraph, what we can see, all vertices of given graph are existing. I mean, this subgraphs contain all vertices of given connected graph. Clear? And one more thing is, all these three subgraphs are connected. Clear? All these three subgraphs are connected. And along with this, all these three subgraphs are acyclic. Clear? All these three subgraphs are acyclic. Now got it? So these three subgraphs, what I'll call a spanning tree of graph 1. Understood? So in simple, what I can say spanning tree? Spanning tree. The name, a tree comes there, right? Means it's very clear. Spanning tree is a tree. Of course, it's a tree. Got it? Because when I say it's a tree, it's connected and it's acyclic. Got it? So spanning tree is a subgraph of given graph. Got it? Spanning tree, listen here, spanning tree is a subgraph of given graph that contain all vertices of given graph. Clear? So spanning tree is a subgraph of a given graph that contain all vertices of a given graph. Clear? Clear with this? So all vertices of given graph are included. And that tree itself says that all vertices should be connected. And tree says that they should be acyclic. Clear? Got it? So in general, so in now look at the first one, spanning tree of a connected graph. See why connected graph G? I said the given graph should be connected. It's a connected acyclic subgraph of G that includes all of G's vertices. Okay. So now you got what is spanning tree, right? So then what is minimum spanning? See now, assume as we can see in graph one, there are weights on all edges, right? There are weights on all edges. There are weights on all edges. Clear? So for this graph one, okay, I have shown some 3 subgraphs, and of course, you know all these 3 subgraphs are spanning tree. Clear? You are very clear. All these 3 subgraphs are spanning tree. Got it? Now, if the given connected graph is a weighted one, I mean there are weights on all the edges. Okay, got it? Then we can obtain weight for spanning trees. See here, we can determine what may be the weight for spanning trees. Clear? For example, for the first spanning tree, say T1, weight is 6. It's nothing but sum of weights on all the edges in the spanning tree. Got it? So what is weight of T1? It's nothing but sum of the weights of all the edges in that spanning tree. Got it? So similarly, weight of T2 is nothing but 1 plus 5 plus 3, that is 9. Clear? So what about weight of T3? 1 plus 2, 3 plus 5, 8. Got it? So now, now let me tell you what is minimum spanning tree means. Minimum spanning tree of graph 1, that is a given first graph, okay, is nothing but it's spanning tree with minimum weight. Got it? I mean, in this case, I should see, of course, for this graph, there can be any, it's not only 3 spanning trees. There may exist other spanning trees too, but I have shown only 3 spanning trees in this case. Got it? So we can have any number of spanning trees. Among those spanning trees, you need to identify which spanning trees with minimum weight. That is minimum spanning. So among these 3 spanning trees, which is minimum spanning tree? It's nothing but second spanning tree with weight 6. Clear? So what is minimum spanning tree of a weighted connected graph? A spanning tree of graph with minimum total weight. Clear? So all of you got to know what actually spanning tree and what actually minimum spanning. Clear? So think we can proceed further. Hope no one has doubt. So always remember when I said tree, it's where you need to remember tree. Okay, it's a graph which is connected as I click. Got it? When I say spanning tree means we are given a connected graph. Okay, given graph should be connected. Then spanning tree is its subgraph. Okay, with all vertices, spanning tree is a subgraph. Okay, with all vertices of given connected graph. Minimum spanning tree means it's a spanning tree with minimum weight. Okay, clear? So now, okay, now let me tell you. So what actually problem is a minimum spanning tree problem? What actually minimum spanning tree problem is means you are given one connected graph, say like graph 1. Okay, the first graph is given to you. Okay, so now what the objective here is you need to determine minimum spanning. Got it? So what's the problem statement here? You will be given a connected graph like graph 1. Okay, and you will be asked to determine its minimum spanning tree. That is, you need to determine the second spanning. Okay, got it? Clear? So now when this example is very simple. Suppose I would have given you a graph with 6 to 7 vertices, or let me say graph with 10 vertices. Okay, got it? So as if you are not aware of greedy strategy. So what you will do, you will choose brute force strategy. So in brute force strategy, what we will do, okay, a given graph may have any number of vertices. Okay, in brute force strategy, what we'll do, we need to list all possible spanning trees. Clear? In brute force strategy, we need to list all possible spanning trees. That's the first case. After listing all possible spanning trees, I need to determine weight for all possible spanning trees. Clear? What is first step? List all possible spanning trees. Second step, compute the weight of all spanning trees. Third step, identify spanning tree with minimum weight and return as a result. Clear? So now, what is an obstacle in this exhaustive search approach? Exhaustive search approach is nothing but brute force approach. Okay. See, why I say exhaustive here means I need to list all possible all possible spanning trees, right? I need to list all possible spanning trees. Okay. So it is named exhaustive. So what I said, the first, see here, the number of spanning trees, okay, it grows exponentially with the graph size. See, I told I need to list all possible spanning trees. If the possible spanning trees are just 3 to 4 or 5, then it would have been simple. But the number of spanning trees, what happens, it grows exponentially with graph size. Got it? That's the one problem. Next problem is that generating all spanning trees for a graph is not easy. Clear? So generating all spanning trees for a graph is not easy. Clear? So this is about limitation of exhaustive search. So what are those two obstacles? One, the number of spanning trees grows exponentially with graph size. Got it? Next, generating all possible spanning trees is not that easy. Okay. So to overcome this drawback, so what's the drawback? Actually, what drawback here? The time consumption is more. Is it? It's inefficient with respect to time. So in order to overcome this drawback, what I need, I should have one strategy. Okay. I should come up with some strategy. That strategy directly identifies only one spanning tree, that is minimum spanning tree. Got it? I mean, I should be able to come up with a strategy. Okay. The strategy will identify, will construct only one spanning tree, that is minimum spanning tree, like the second spanning tree in this example. Okay. So, and this strategy should not construct the other spanning trees like third and fourth. Got it? So clear. So what? I should come up with a strategy that construct only minimum spanning tree. So if such a strategy will take less time. Got it? So we can call a time efficient algorithm. Okay. So we have a greedy approach, greedy strategy for this. And based on the ideal logic, okay, we have two methods, okay, two algorithms for minimum spanning trees. One is Prim's algorithm and the other one is Kruskal's algorithm. Clear? So in this session, we will have a discussion about Prim's algorithms for minimum spanning tree. Got it? In next session, we will let me have a look at Kruskal's algorithm. Clear? So now let me see how Prim's algorithm is applicable to minimum spanning tree problem. Okay. Let me see the idea behind, the logic behind Prim's algorithm. See, look at first point. What it says, start with tree. Okay, means I said, okay, Prim's algorithm, it's a strategy that construct only minimum spanning tree. It doesn't construct the other spanning trees. So, okay, so what first point says, start with tree T1. Okay, see here, I'll tell you, you first listen to my point, listen to this point, okay, then I'll tell you what actually. Okay, final, see, you know, what actually spanning tree is nothing but a subgraph. Okay, see, in this case, what you can see, you are given a graph with 4 vertices, right? You are given a graph with 4 vertices. So first is a stage greedy method, what I said, step by step construction of a solution. Got it? So in first step, what it assumes, okay, it constructs a partial subgraph. Partial, okay. It starts a partial subgraph. Okay, I can't say, and you should not say partial. Even if for this graph, if I have only one vertex, say A, I can call it a subgraph. Okay, so I won't call it's a partial because subgraph are not partial. Okay, subgraph is a subgraph. So what it says that start with tree T1. Okay, see, in each step I should get a tree. Okay, tree means connected acyclic. Clear? So start with tree T1 consisting of any vertex. See, let me show you an example. Okay, look in this example. See, in this example, I have given a connected weighted graph with how many vertices? A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 vertices. Clear? The first row, that's the given connected graph. Okay, see, listen, all of you listen cautiously. It's very easier to solve. If you have watched a question in exam, you can easily solve and score the marks. Okay, so this is a given graph. Okay, so in the first step, see here, in subsequent, okay, just in the second row, I've shown 2 subgraphs. Okay, actually the entire graph is presented here, but here the bolded part, okay, like in figure in graph A, the vertex A is in bold, right? The vertex A is in bold, right? So it means in this first graph, there's only one vertex A is shown. Okay, this tree contains only one vertex A. This graph contains only one vertex A, but assume that, of course, I have shown the other vertices and other edges also, but don't consider that in this first step. Okay, I repeat, the bolded one shows existence. Okay, and unbolded one just have shown it, but they are not part of the tree being constructed in the stage. Got it? I repeat, bolded one like in graph A or like in graph B are the the part of the tree in that stage. Okay, unbolded ones are not part. Simply I've shown it. Okay, got it. So now, what it says first step, start with tree T1 consisting of any vertex, okay, and grow tree one vertex at a time to produce minimum spanning tree through a series of expanding subtrees T1, T2, Tn. Okay, start with tree T1 consisting of any vertex and grow tree one vertex at a time to produce minimum spanning tree through a series of expanding subtrees T1, T2, Tm. Now let me tell you. See, this A is nothing but T1. Okay, the first tree. Got it? A is nothing but T1. It's a tree. I'm not calling it a spanning tree. It's a tree. Spanning tree, if I want to call spanning tree, it should contain all vertices A, B, C, D, E, F. Got it? See, what I done is start with a tree, not spanning tree. Start with a tree T1. Got it? So first I'll start with the tree T1, and it can contain any vertex. Okay, A or B or C or D or E or F. But I'll follow an alphabetical order, and and for the first step, I'll in T1 I'll include the first vertex A. Okay. Now, as you can see in A, that is T1. Okay, there's only one vertex, that is A, that's bolded one. Nothing else. Now, for the second step, this T1, because why I named T1 means because it contains only one vertex. Now I need to expand T1 to T2, means I need to include the other vertex. I need to expand my tree. Got it? So what you in tree in C, in graph A, there's only one vertex A. Got it? In let me say in graph A, that is nothing but tree T1, there's only one vertex A. So identify adjacent vertices of A. They are B, F, and E. Got it? The adjacent vertices of A are B, F, and D. Among these adjacent vertices of A, which vertex is near to A? The vertex near to A is B at a distance 3. Clear with this? See, in tree T1, that is graph A, there was only one vertex, that is A. Now I need to expand this tree T1 to T2, means I need to include one more vertex. Got it? So I need to look adjacent vertices of A, means adjacent vertices of those vertex which is already in T1. In T1 only A is there. See, in T1 only A is there. So for A, adjacent vertices of B, F, and D. And near to A is 3. Sorry, near to A is vertex B with distance 3. So now I will expand T1, and the new tree I'm going to get is T2. Okay, that includes two vertices A and B. Clear with this? Clear? So I have identified among adjacent vertices B, F, and D, B to be nearer to A. So I will expand T1, that is graph A2, as shown in graph B. Graph B is now T2. It has two vertices A and B. Clear? So this clear with this. So now this in graph 2, that is graph B, that is T2. It's a tree, right? Because AB, it includes AB. It's a connected. It's an acyclic. It's a tree, but not spanning tree because it doesn't include other vertices C, D, E, F. Now I need to expand T2 to T3. Okay, I need to expand T2 to T3. Got it? So in T2, that is graph B, how many vertices are there? Two vertices exist. What are they? A and B. So for A, identify among unvisited vertices C, D, E, F. See, I repeat, for A, among unvisited vertices C, D, E, F, which is near? For A, it is F. F is near to A at a distance 5. F is near to A at a distance 5. And okay, there is one more vertex in T2, right? That is B. For B, which is near among unvisited vertices C, D, E, F, C is near to B at a distance 1. So listen, in a tree T2, there are two vertices A and B. Listen, in a tree T2, there are two vertices A and B. Among unvisited vertices C, D, E, F, F is at a distance A. Sorry, F is at a distance pi to A. C is at a distance 1 to B. Got it? F is at a distance pi to A. C is at a distance 1 to B. So which among C, D, E, F, okay, is nearest to tree? I need to identify which among these unvisited vertices is nearest to tree. Nearest to tree means it might be connected to any vertices of tree. Okay. C we can see is we can identify. It is very clear. C is the vertex among unvisited vertices C, D, E, F that is nearest to tree T2. Clear? C is a vertex which is among unvisited vertices that is nearest to tree T2. Clear? So now I will expand T2 to T3 including vertex C. Got it? I'll connect edge BC. Now you can see that. Clear? Got an idea? Clear, right? So now look at T3. There are three unvisited vertices D, E, F. Okay. Now, which one is nearest among these three vertices? Which is near to tree? See, if I say A, as A, F is at a distance pi to A, E is at distance 6 to A. So F I can say nearest to A, but not nearest to tree. Okay. Next, F is at a distance 4 to B. Okay. F is at a distance 4 to C. Clear? So means here what I can say, the nearest vertex among the D, E, F to a tree is F at a distance 4 either to B or either to C. Here a tie happens. We can break the tie considering alphabetical order. So F is the next vertex among unvisited nearest to tree T3. So I will expand T3 to T4, but by including F by connecting H, P, F. Clear with this? Clear with this, right? So now I got T4. That is in graph D. There are four vertices in tree and two unvisited vertices. So what are those two unvisited vertices? E and D, right? So among E and D, which vertex is nearest to tree T4? Among D and E, which vertex is nearest to T4? I repeat, among the vertices D and E, which vertex is nearest to T4? It's very clear, E at a distance 2 to F. So include D, this becomes T5. Got it? So now I need to expand T5 to T6. T5 to T6. So only one vertex left, that is D. So to which vertex of a tree I need to connect? To that vertex which is near to D. So D is at a distance 5 to F, so I'll connect. So finally, what you're seeing in graph F is T6. That is the spanning tree of given graph. Clear? This is how Prim's algorithm is used to obtain spanning tree of a given graph.